How long will $1 million last in retirement? In this scenario, within the retirement budget calculator, I'm going to show you how we model whether or not this couple is prepared for retirement, whether or not they can afford to retire based on the fact that they've saved about $1 million. They're 62 years old and they want to spend $80,000 a year. So let me show you the different assumptions that I make within the calculator, and I'll show you exactly how this works. And of course, you can create a scenario to test the results for your specific situation at the retirementbudgetcalculator.com. Okay, so here's what we have. John and Nancy, hypothetical make-believe couple. He is 62 years old. She's 62 years old. They just retired on December 31st, 2021. Now, we're just using the life expectancy calculator from the Social Security Administration, the mortality tables. And what that tells us is that his life expectancy is age 82 and hers is age 85. Now, if you have a history of longevity in your family and you want to say, hey, everybody in my family lives to age 90, you can override that and you'll see that that makes a change right here. But for the sake of this exercise, we're just going to assume that Social Security has the numbers pretty correct. One of the things you'll notice that we make available within the calculator is all of the key dates that they're going to want to reference. Okay, the next thing that we wanted to do for John and Nancy is assume that they had $1 million saved for retirement. So what we did is we said John has an IRA. It's a traditional IRA. And you can see it's in his name, and there's a balance of $1 million in that account, and that was the balance on December 31st. Of course, this number here is only really needed for calculating required minimum distributions, but that's what it is right now. The next thing that we wanted to look at was their spending and their income. And so in their case, they have Social Security income. Now this number, again, these are hypothetical numbers. You'll want to log into the Social Security Administration to find your exact Social Security benefit. But what we're saying here is at 62, he's going to have $2,500 a month of Social Security coming in. She's going to have $1,500 a month of Social Security coming in. And then this down here, the survivor Social Security, you'll notice we don't have this starting until 2043 because we have both of their Social Securities ending in 2042. What we're modeling here is the fact that this is how much they have now, starting in January of 2022. But when he dies, she's going to step up to that survivor benefit, which we've calculated to be $3,714 with inflation adjustments. So once we put this income information in here, the next thing we want to do is understand how much they spend. In this case, we just put in a very basic budget that says currently they're spending $6,666 per month, which is $80,000 per year until 2042. And then in 2042, again, we're making an adjustment here in January of 2043 to show that she's going to take a 20% reduction in expenses in the future. So we just need to show what that future expense is going to be when he dies and she's on her own. So we're just reducing expenses a little bit to show that when there's one person, we don't need quite as much money. Okay, so now that we have this basic information in here, we can come over to the future view. And on the future view tab, you notice we're going to assume that their money's just growing at a simple 4% per year. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of different ways you can look at this, but 4% per year is just a very conservative growth rate to assume going forward. I always like to say it's better to hope for the best and plan for the worst. I would avoid using a really high number here and keep these return assumptions low just to create a more conservative strategy. So what you can see, the first year, they're both 62. They have $48,000 a year of Social Security income. Their estimated taxes are $2,909, which gives them an effective tax rate of 5.43%. Their net income after taxes is $45,000, but they're going to need, again, they want to spend $80,000 a year. So you can see $79,992. That means they're going to have to take $34,901 out of their retirement accounts, out of this $1 million. And then this account's going to grow at 4% after the withdrawal is taken. So you can see that first year, we're saying that they have a withdrawal rate of 3.5%. Now, if you click on a row, you can see exactly where this money's coming out of. And since they only have one account, it's all coming out of his IRA. You might be asking, how are we coming up with this estimated tax? Remember, one of the things that the retirement budget calculator is doing is it's basing an estimate for taxes based on your tax return. So over here, you'll notice it says you've got total IRA distributions of $34,901, total Social Security benefits of $48,000, but not all of your Social Security income is taxable due to the provisional income rules. So you can see 38.89% of your Social Security is taxable this first year, meaning $18,666 counts against your tax return. So even though you have $80,000 a year of cash flow, these two numbers added up, from a tax standpoint, you have $53,000 of income. And then, of course, we're assuming that they're taking the standard deduction, and that's how we come up with the tax that's owing that first year. So that's how we're calculating taxes. The next thing I want to show you here is how long their money lasts if they are on this trajectory, or if they're on this path. So you notice they start with $1 million, and that $1 million is growing at 4% per year. They're taking withdrawals out every year to supplement their income. Once we get down to age 72, you'll notice now not only do they have to take the withdrawals to supplement their income, but they're also having to take the required minimum distribution. So little by little, this withdrawal rate is increasing, because the other thing that we're doing, remember, is we're increasing their spending at 3% inflation every year. So every year we're saying life gets a little bit more expensive. Now his life expectancy was age 82, which is this blue line. So you can see when he dies at age 82, they had combined Social Security income of $71,000, and when he dies, there's still $433,000 remaining in this account. But remember, we're assuming now that she gets that survivor benefit for Social Security. So here you'll see where we reduce the Social Security to reflect the amount that she'd actually be receiving. And then the other thing is, on the expenses, when they were both alive, we had them at $144,000 a year. But now we've reduced the budget by 20%, just saying now that there's only one person, she won't need to spend quite as much. And so that's why you see a reduction from 144 to 115. And then, of course, this 115 is still growing at that 3% per year. Her life expectancy is age 85. You notice when she dies, there's still $154,000 remaining in the account. If they lived beyond, if one of them lived into their 90s, you can see right here, this yellow line represents the year that they run out of money in retirement. So it's interesting to note that $1 million may not take you as far as you think if you're assuming just a 4% growth rate. Now you can come up here and you can play around with different historical asset class returns, or you can say, what if there's a bad timing in terms of sequence of returns? But again, I just like to say, what if we're only earning 4% per year, and use that as a starting point to see how these numbers work. Now, one of the things that we do is we show you, based on this retirement date of 2022, here's what it would look like if you were going to create buckets, so that you have money that's low risk, the money that you're going to be pulling out of your accounts the first couple of years of retirement. And then the money that you won't need for the longest period of time, you can be more aggressive with. So the idea is to match your assets to your liabilities and not take more risk than is necessary. One of the things we do once you enter in your data is we give you a dashboard, so you can see, what are your retirement benchmarks? How are you looking in terms of your secure income score, your safe withdrawal rate, and your debt to assets? Of course, they're already retired, so they already made it. We show income, annual and monthly, the taxation of their liquid assets, the risk of their liquid assets, how much money they have to supplement their retirement income, what the required minimum distribution estimate is when you turn 72, how long is your money going to last, a bucket strategy, and then how much you're going to pay in taxes over your lifetime. Based on that $1 million, they're looking at $279,000 of taxes. And then how much of your Social Security is taxable. So again, one of the most important questions people are trying to answer is, can I afford to retire? Have we saved enough? Are we going to run out of money in retirement? And that's what the retirement budget calculator helps you to do. You can create a budget for free at the retirement budget calculator, but if you want access to the advanced features are the dashboard, taxes, future view, and buckets, then you will pay a subscription to have access to those features. Anyways, I hope you found this helpful. I hope you're going to have a great retirement. Having a plan heading into retirement can really provide you some peace of mind to know whether or not you're on the right track. Thanks so much.